And are you refreshed? Good. Now what?
So I wrote a question. I wrote down a question on Tuesday.
Yeah.
A question about projection on other people. And I would like some help because I understand how to do it on other people, and I do it very successfully. But because I don't have any momentum about them.
Projection on other people?
Yes, I mean, when you see the strength of another person, even though he doesn't realize it, but you see it, and you tell it to him, or you show it in a different way, somehow I feel that I'm a catalyst for them to see it, to help, to enable them to see it. But I don't have any momentum about them, you see? But I do have a momentum about myself.
So it's easier for you to expect or anticipate for those that you don't have negative momentum. That's logical, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So? So think about what you just said. You're new in the moment.
Yes.
You're not dragging the past into it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no past to activate, and so there is no past that you are activating. So it's just you and another fresh in this moment, and you feeling good and flowing pure positive energy toward them. So what aspect of that could you carry forward in thinking about yourself? Don't bring the past into it. Start fresh and new in the moment. Which is what we've been talking about quite a bit already here today. What that requires is a willingness to, or an understanding that, let's just say it to you bluntly, you can't explain yourself anyway. So why do you try so hard? So do you think that it is a feeling of not being quite where I want to be that makes you continue to want to justify where you are? And who are you justifying to? Others who you feel don't understand you or that you need to explain to. But if your dominant relationship that you were wanting to accomplish and keep going were the relationship between you and your inner being, wouldn't that take care of quite a bit of that? Because your inner being does not need you to explain who you are or where you stand in proximity to what you desire. Your inner being knows all of that. What do you think? You're in a very clear place, and so we think we can have a very good conversation that will be helpful to so many. What do you think causes you to not think as kindly of yourself as you do a stranger or a new person? You already said that there's no momentum, but what kinds of thoughts do you find yourself thinking that are hindering?
Because I know that it's all about talking about things that are not working for me, but
if you're just standing in your now, what is it about being in the now that seems to require an explanation?
It's an interesting question.
Part of it's wanting to get to know each other. We get that. But after a while, you sort of have gotten to know each other. What do you believe you are continuing to try to explain? What's the explanation about? Why do you want to explain it to someone else? Or are you really explaining it to yourself and they're just listening in? We've been calling it rationalization or justification or defensiveness. So if you're in a place of defensiveness, you're more likely to do that. But what if you got a good night's sleep? And what if, when you awakened, you knew that you were new in the day and that any momentum on anything has subsided, and while you still do hold beliefs, you're having a fresh start where you could choose momentum? And what if this morning and tomorrow morning and the next morning and the next morning you were doing that so that you were fresh in this moment? So you were fresh to yourself like the stranger is fresh to you. Would it keep you from needing to explain so much? What if you began to define yourself in terms of how you feel rather than who you are, or how you feel rather than where you've been, or how you feel rather than what you've been doing, or how you feel rather than what happened in your life? I was raised this, or I'm a recovering this, or if you could just resist the temptation to try to describe and define yourself so much. What if you pretended, or what if you knew what we actually know? They're not that interested in you anyway. What if they didn't care where you've been or how you got to where you are? What if they were just there because law of attraction brought you together? And what if they were just there to mine your positive aspects? What if they were just there to mine or co-create with your points of harmony? What if you are nothing more or nothing less, and we mean nothing less because it's a lot? What if you were to the others that you met a cooperative component that the law of attraction has brought together, not to explain where you've been and not to explain how long you've been there, but just to co-create with you in this dance right here and now? So you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Your inner being is flowing through you. Your inner beings are dancing with their inner beings. Everybody knows vibrationally who everyone is. And now what? Not where we've been, how'd we get here? Now what? Where are we going? Now what? Now what? And when you meet with someone and you say, now what? And they say, oh, yesterday. And you say, no. Now what? Oh, last week. No. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what are we going to co-create together? What is the best of me and the best of you going to do here and now? Now what? Now what?
I really like this idea that everybody is here to see something good about me. I really like that.
Even better said, everyone who comes into your experience has come by law of attraction, and so there is benefit for you and benefit for them, because things are always working out for me's. For me's, for me. Things are always working out for me's, for me's. Things are always working out for me's, for you's, for me's, for us's. Everything is always working out for all of us. And so here we are. And could it be enough? Couldn't you just say, well, here we are, this must matter. Here we are on the elevator, maybe for the first time. Here we are just making eye contact as we're passing in an airport. Here we are, making the most of every moment, because your inner beings are always making the most of every moment, you see. And the less you are trying to explain how you got to where you are, and the more you're accepting the goodness and the rightness and the perfection of where you are, right here, because your point of power is here, now, never then, now.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
So you've met a stranger. So take it to where you were going. Your question's good. Now we've laid a basis. Let's talk about it.
I would like to find my new professional path, something new for myself, something that I will really like.
We think that's really good. So at first, you were talking about then, and now you're talking about then. And we keep wanting to talk about now. We keep wanting to talk about now. So do you believe that the path is known?
I want to believe in it.
Do you believe that there is a vibrational creation?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe that it's out ahead of you? That there is a vibrational creation that will be realized by you, that has already been revealed but will be realized by you, that you will experience as it unfolds? How far down the path do you need to look when you're in your now? If you are dissatisfied with your now, we can see why you might want to look further down. But if you're satisfied in your now, if the path is just unfolding, can you feel how, whether you're looking back or too far forward, or even very forward at all, you're not utilizing the power of now?
I try to talk with myself about why I want it, but it doesn't seem that it's, how shall I put it? It's an effort, and it doesn't seem like flow.
First of all, effort is never a good idea. Because it isn't flow. Because when you're offering effort, it's because you're trying to overcome something, and the thing that you're trying to overcome is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So do you accept that there is a convergence right now between you and your inner being?
Yes, and I feel it right now.
And can you feel that your inner being is present tense of everything that you're calling future tense? This is an important thing to acknowledge. Your inner being is present tense of everything that you want to call future tense. In other words, your inner being is living what you're going to receive and allow yourself to experience. So your inner being is already there. So can you feel how managing your vibration, which is what we've been talking about all morning, is about feeling the way your inner being feels, about attuning to that vibrational frequency? And so if you were tuning to your inner being's frequency, who is already living what you want to live, can you feel the satisfaction that you would live right now? You've got to become at one with the idea of always being incomplete, in the sense that there's always going to be more vibration to be realized, more thoughts that are going to turn into more things. But if you are standing in your now and you're reaching for awareness of the things before you've been ready to receive the vibration of them, then you get into that efforting place. You've created lack within yourself, and now you're standing in dissatisfaction rather than in joyous anticipation. Can you feel that? So what to do about it? Let's turn it into a practical conversation. So start again, just like you did, because the thoughts that you had lined up are leading us very well in this conversation. So just pretend that you haven't spoken to us yet, but that you understand everything that we've just talked about, and ask again.
Okay.
Because you do understand more than you understood when you sat down. Everyone does, don't you? So now ask those same things again from this different point of knowing.
How can I find my way into my vortex?
How can I find my way into my vortex?
My vortex. Something that I want.
There's still a component that is missing in understanding here, and that is, you see, everything that you want is so that you'll feel good now, and you can stand in your now and feel good now. So what is it that you're reaching for? What is it that you want? Is there something that still feels unfulfilled? Because that's the way your question keeps coming out. You just say in another way, there's something I want that I don't have, and we say you can't get there from here. Okay, let me ask it again. How can I get from where I'm not wanting to be to someplace that I'm wanting to be? Well, you can't get there from there. Well, let me ask it in another way. Well, how can I get over there because I don't really like being over here? Well, you can't get there from there. Well, so how can I improve my life? You can't improve your life because you're aware that improvement needs to be made. Well, how can I compensate for the things that didn't go well? You can't, because your awareness that they didn't go well is going to keep them not going well. All right. How can I get to where I want to be? By being happy where you are. By being happy where you are. But how can I be happy where I are when there how can I be happy where I are when there are so many things missing from where I are? By being happy with the things that are already where you are. By feeling the power of your present, by utilizing your present in the only way that you can. The only thing that you can do, the only power that you have, the only creative power you have, the only ability you have to deliberately create, the only effective thing that you can do is to sync up with source. That's all you can do. Sync up, sync up, sync up, sync up. All the other work's been done. Sync up, and then follow the impulse, period.
Thank you.
So, ask the question again. Do we need to read it for you? Start again as if we hadn't had this conversation.
The same question.
Knowing what you now know, ask those questions again. You were out there, you really wanted to talk, you knew that we were going to talk to you. From where you are now, what do you want to know? Because so often the question is, how do I get someplace else? And we say, really? How do I get someplace else other than this blessed place where I be, where the juncture of me meets source energy? Do you know how much you wanted this moment in time?
I want you to be
This
here.
moment in time, this body, this awareness, these physical senses, this focusing mechanism, this ability to think, this ability to play with others, this and this and this and this, every place you go, everything you're doing, every moment that you're in this body, do you realize how precious it is and how much you wanted it? And what is the true potential of it? To be someplace else?
No.
To justify being here by talking about the miles and the moccasins that you've already been walking? What's the point is really what we're asking you. What's the point of life experience beyond this moment?
It's about satisfaction and
satisfaction is about what?
it's like the sea.
What is satisfaction?
Satisfaction is knowing that you're worthy.
But what is satisfaction and worthiness?
Pure alignment.
Alignment. It's alignment. It's alignment. It's alignment with that broader you. So it's me alive and let all of me be consciously alive. It's me having conscious awareness. Ask your question.
I don't have a question anymore. Thank you.
It became irrelevant, didn't it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I get somewhere else because I'm here. It doesn't matter what else is coming because this is good. So now I'm happy where I am and anticipating a never-ending plethora of joyful experience.
It's about anticipation. For me, it is about anticipation.
Anticipation.
Enjoying anticipation.
Anticipation, but watch it. Because anticipation can cause a diminishment of now. Ooh. It's going to get better than this. So feel what we're softly guiding you toward. In other words, satisfied with where I am, in love with life where I am, loving myself, worthy, 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 blessed, blessed, blessed me, connected to source energy, who's loving every minute that I'm focused here, devouring this time-space reality through me, and yet knowing what's next and next and next and next and next, but no lack in the anticipation, just knowing that there's more and more and more. No shortage consciousness, no ever running out of resources, renewed, fulfilled, refilled, resourced. You're getting it, aren't you?
Yes, I'm getting it. Before I came into this chair, I was feeling the energy in my hands. It was so strong, and I just knew that you would pick me up. I just knew that, and I want this feeling in everything.
What you're describing is what it feels like when your inner being is focused with you and you are allowing yourself to understand and experience the union. Yeah. Life is supposed to be intense like that. Yeah, really good.
Thank you.